Some things can't be put on pause. Your checkups, your consults with specialists, your life-changing procedures. That's why we're adapting quickly to make our hospitals and clinics even safer for you and to give you more convenient ways to connect with the care you need at Kentucky's #1 hospital. That's how we're meeting this moment for you and for the health of all Kentuckians. UK Healthcare, the power of advanced medicine.
I'm Charles Booker, and I'm running for United States Senate, and I approve this message.
Have you been on the ground in Louisville with the protesters the last 3 days, Ms. McGrath?
I have not.
And why?
Well, I've been with my family, and I've had some family things going on.
I stand before you as your brother, as your cousin, as your neighbor, as your fellow good troublemaker. My name is Charles Booker.
I never appreciated the value of a local bank until I was confronted with a crisis. Buying local isn't just for meat and vegetables.
Thank you for being a great banking source for the last 20 years. It is so very refreshing to know that Traditional Bank had our backs when it came to the scary time for small business owners. Keep up the wonderful service.
This is why we're in business.
Lee and Haley, weekdays on ABC 36. ABC 36 News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome in. I'm Tom Kenny.
And I'm Veronica June Seltzer. The state's primary election is tomorrow after a coronavirus-imposed delay. And voting, like everything else, is already very different this year.
State and local election officials, they have urged people to vote by mail, but if you absolutely want to vote in person, you still can. Here in Fayette County, that happens at only one place, and that's Kroger Field. ABC 36's Christy Bollinger talked with voters about what they thought on this election day in tonight's top story at 6.
Final Election Day preparations are underway here at Kroger Field, the county's only polling location due to the coronavirus. The county clerk expects a manageable crowd Tuesday, and that's due to the record number of absentee ballots they've received.
It's strange. I would prefer to just run around the corner to our local clubhouse and vote.
Voters I spoke with were split on what they thought of mail-in ballots.
Never done absentee ballot before.
So what'd you think of doing that?
Under the circumstances, it seemed like the right thing to do.
I'm still a little alarmed at dropping off my vote in a box and not knowing where it goes afterwards.
A drop-off box set up at Kroger Field saw dozens of voters Monday. Fayette County Clerk Don Blevins calls the voter turnout so far historic, with over 92,000 requests for absentee ballots and more than 50,000 already returned.
Even without voting tomorrow, we've already voted. The turnout percentage is higher than all of the presidential primaries going back to 2000. So for 20 years, we've already set the record.
One voter thinks it would have been a high turnout anyway.
There's a lot of emotions riding on this election, so it doesn't surprise me one way or the other. It probably would have been a fairly high turnout.
As far as safety concerns go, the clerk's office says it doesn't have any. Barriers have been set up inside the stadium with ground markings to help keep people 6 feet apart. Everyone inside is required to wear a mask.
I hope that we don't have crazy level of turnout tomorrow. That would not be a fun day for anybody, voters or otherwise, or the election officers.
He says the office has tried hard to deter people from voting in person. It's worked for some.
With the situation, I figured it was better to do it this way as opposed to standing out in a crowd.
Voting here begins at 6 a.m. Ballots must be mailed in before midnight Wednesday. In Lexington, Christy Bollinger, ABC 36 News.
Thank you, Christy. One of the many races that are going to be closely watched tomorrow is the Democratic primary for U.S. Senate. Once considered a long shot, one candidate has the entire country watching. ABC 36's Austin Miller in studio to talk about the race that we think at the top of the ticket is going to be Amy McGrath against Charles Booker. And Austin, I know you've looked at some of the polls. Just how close is this race?
Well, Tom, if there was ever a sign that this race was close, there's two things to look at. The number of high-profile Democrats voicing their support for Charles Booker, and then there's also Amy McGrath changing her approach on her political ads, going from a moderate bipartisan candidate to a now more progressive one. And despite Booker's surge this past few weeks, our ABC political analysts says that this actually could still be McGrath's race. With just a day left before Kentucky's polls close, it certainly seems like Charles Booker has surged past Amy McGrath. In fact, the Courier-Journal reports a recent poll has Booker ahead.
Booker clearly has ignited a fire. He's got lots of the politically hardcore, active people excited about his candidacy, but we have very little information about how much that's filtered down to the rank-and-file voters who are going to be making the real numbers on Election Day.
ABC 36's political analyst, Professor Stephen Voss, says the lack of door-to-door polling during this election makes it hard to get an accurate read on this race. Voss says McGrath could still lead in part because there may be voters who prefer Booker but picked McGrath when it was assumed she'd win. The other problem, limited polling sites causing a huge inconvenience for urban and minority voters.
Traveling a mile in the middle of Louisville takes a lot longer than traveling a mile on some rural road where there's 5 cars. Okay, so as you add half a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles to the distance people have to travel to drop off their ballot box in a city, you're disempowering them.
Voss says Kentucky has made it as convenient as possible for voters to cast their ballot early, but he thinks the history from other states shows these elections may not lead to higher voter turnout with urban and minority voters.
There is a scientific record from other states, and what we see is that most of those convenience voting reforms that Kentucky's trying actually empower people of higher socioeconomic status.
Now, because of the lack of data, Voss isn't confident in picking a winner in this race just yet. And as we look forward to November, he says the nominee for the Democrats, their chances of beating out Mitch McConnell will likely rely on where the economy is. Austin Miller, ABC 36.
Austin, thank you. Friends and family got together today to say a final goodbye to Carol Barr, the wife of Central Kentucky Congressman Andy Barr of Lexington. Carol Barr died suddenly last week at their Lexington home of natural causes related to a heart condition, according to the preliminary autopsy report from the Fayette County coroner. She was only 39 years old. She and Andy Barr have 2 young daughters. Her funeral held this morning at the Lexington campus of Southland Christian Church on Richmond Road, where Andy Barr spoke of how his wife made him a better person and was generous with everyone. Carol Barr grew up in Georgetown, was a UK graduate, worked for Pfizer in pharmaceutical sales, and was also executive director of the Henry Clay Center for Statesmanship.
Let's take a look now at the latest coronavirus numbers in the state, and there is some good news today. Governor Andy Beshear says there were no new deaths. Our total number of deaths sits at 526. We have 90 new cases, and that is the first time in a while we've been under 100 new cases. We're now at 13,839 confirmed cases overall.
Tests show that 6 UK football players previously had the coronavirus, but they don't now. Those results showed up when the players came back to campus for voluntary workouts earlier this month. That news coming out today from the school as UK begins its next phase to bring more players from other sports back to campus. The first group of volleyball players, came back to practice today. The school says the men's basketball team due in next week, women's and men's soccer, and the women's basketball team in July. The school says 106 student athletes were tested for the coronavirus.
Fayette County Public Schools says while the coronavirus closed schools early, the district never stopped serving the needs of its students. According to the district, between March 16th and May 27th, employees, staff, and volunteers served more than 360,000 meals to students and their families and gave away more than 27,000 backpacks containing food, cleaning supplies, and hygiene products. The district says its mental health services met with more than 27,000 students, and its IT services provided internet technology, including Chromebooks, to over 19,000 students. Meteorologist Jason Lindsay is here getting us ready for tomorrow as a few people still head to the polls, and you might want to bring some rain gear.
You're exactly right. I'm not tracking like an all-day rain event. It's going to rain from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., but scattered showers and storms more widespread than what some of you are seeing today. Good evening to you, too, and good evening to you. I hope you and your family are safe and well. What we're looking at right now is live HD radar, and I'm tracking a little bit of rain. At 5 o'clock, I zoomed in just a little bit closer to Lincoln County and showed you that there were some scattered showers here. You'll notice now how that little bag batch of rain continues to fizzle out as it moves across Lincoln County. Here's what you can expect for the rest of tonight. 69 degrees for the majority of you, partly cloudy with some scattered showers and storms. A little bit later, what can you expect after the cold front moves through this next weather maker? Will there be some sunshine? I'll have that answer in a full 7-day forecast. Now back to you.
Thank you, Jason. State police are investigating after a man was found shot to death in a driveway in Magoffin County. Investigators say the body of 78-year-old Gerald Arnett was found in the driveway off Rowan Road. Police say an autopsy was done, but no releases yet on the information, and no arrests have been made.
An early morning crash in Woodford County has left one person dead. State police say it happened shortly after 2 this morning on I-64 near the Woodford-Scott County line. Police say a truck hauling a trailer went off the road and overturned into South Elkhorn Creek. The driver, James Stevenson, was pronounced dead at the scene. The Kentucky House Democratic Women's Caucus has a suggestion for Governor Beshear on what should replace the empty space in the Capitol Rotunda where the statue of Jefferson Davis stood. The organization sent a letter to the governor saying a woman should be elected for the next statue placed in the rotunda. Until the statue is replaced, the caucus says the rotunda should have a rotating educational display of women and people of color.
Well, they're a Kentucky daddy-daughter power duo, and they are on a mission.
Up next, see how they are turning their joy and zest for life into a gift for strangers.
Get up and get going. It's time to get your Fusion. With 0% financing for 72 months, plus a complimentary 5-year powertrain warranty. Plus, features like Ford Copilot 360 technology, Bliss, lane keeping system, pre-collision assist, and adaptive cruise control. Whew, that's a lot. What are you waiting for? Get to your Ford dealer today. Now, qualified buyers can get a Fusion with 0% financing for 72 months, plus a complimentary 5-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranty.
A message from Mr. Monopoly.
Hello! I'm so excited that the Kentucky Lottery wants me to give away part of my vast fortune for their new Monopoly Scratch game. In fact, I've installed this bell behind me to alert me when there's a winner. Oh, there's a winner right now. And another one. Charlie, can you make sure the winner bell is working properly?
Play the new Monopoly Scratch-Off and win $250,000 instantly.
How many people live in Kentucky?
Seeing the joy that people feel when they share a meal with family and friends, that's why we do this. The laughter of kids around the table, the thrill of families driving through for a treat, the delight of not having to cook, and instead letting us safely serve you. It all comes back to taking care of each other. And for that, we'll be here with your favorites, and always a smile.
If you know someone that takes exceptional care of your loved one, ABC 36 would like to feature them in our Golden Care Provider of the Month. Nominate a caregiver or volunteer who has made a difference in your life at WTVQ.com. Brought to you by Golden Law Offices in Lexington.
The way Bill sees it, a car is not just for getting from point A to point B. For Bill, his car is a reflection of his personality, his style, his values. That's why he has Kentucky Farm Bureau take care of his insurance. Because we're not just Kentucky's Farm Bureau. We're Bill's pride and joy Farm Bureau. My Farm Bureau. Kentucky Farm Bureau. Big on commitment.
I'm ABC 36's Tom Kenny.
And I'm Veronica Jean Seltzer. Reserve your ticket today for the St. Jude Dream Home giveaway.
Help make a difference in the lives of children with cancer. Buy your ticket for a chance to win a new home today at dreamhome.org.
You're watching ABC 36 News at 6.
It can be hard to see under your mask, but in times like these, a smile really goes a long way.
I like the masks that have the smile
Me
already
too.
on it. I
Those are
love
so
those. Anyway, we're going to introduce you to a daddy-daughter duo here in Kentucky. They've started a movement one smile at a time. Kate Springer has the heartwarming story.
Moo, you're my brown-eyed girl.
Maddie Ray loves to dance.
Get a peanut.
She loves her family. And while she can't tell you herself, her smile says it all.
The beauty of her smile and want to share it with the world.
Maddie has Down syndrome and is nonverbal, but it doesn't take much for her to communicate. When nothing else seems clear, it's Maddie's face lighting up that provides clarity for her dad, Michael.
When I always needed to be uplifted, I always had one constant thing in my life, and that was her.
He wondered if Maddie's grin could do that for him. What could it do for others?
What can we do now to take how she has changed my life to impact the lives of strangers?
Smile Project Louisville started with a photo in a Wendy's drive-thru in the spring of 2018.
I said I would love to take a picture to remember us smiling together in this moment to say, thank you to us.
Hey guys, look, dynamic duo here today.
Never knowing a moment would become a movement.
This little platform that I created, really just to create change in my life and within our community, and I often say we live in a very special community in Louisville, has resonated well beyond the city of Louisville.
Are you ready to go surprise Anita? Let's go.
Now he travels around the area with Maddie, spreading hope and happiness, something that costs nothing, but the payoff is huge. Smile after smile, story after story. At first taking pictures of strangers throughout the city, and now granting random acts of kindness.
People started nominating people and would be like, telling the story of why somebody needed a smile.
I'm going to socially distance these balloons.
That takes a little creativity these days.
We've used 10-foot poles, and I put giant plastic over me to hug it out with people.
Each one a chance to change someone's day, someone's life.
We're going through some crazy times, whether it's a pandemic and all the stuff recently, with race relations, is that if you lead with love and you find love in your heart, you have the ability then to go around and smile at complete strangers.
It's real, man.
He recently took his message to 28th and Broadway outside the looted, boarded-up Kroger, an act of kindness that tripled right in front of his eyes.
It happened to be James, and it's an amazing moment.
We have $100 for you to go into Kroger's and shop.
It's that kind of moment he hopes to continue spreading with Maddie by his side.
I tell people we smile because life is hard, not easy.
Dad and daughter using a special smile to spread a message. No words necessary.
Be the reason someone smiles today, and I say, hey, give him a kiss, blow him a kiss.
That terrific story from Kate Springer. And as she said, smiling is free. Doesn't cost you a thing.
Yeah, and so creative, too, with that 6-foot pole for coronavirus. They didn't let that get them down.
That's right. How about Dad's energy?
Yes.
Love that, too.
Yes.
All right, time is running out for your chance to buy a ticket for the St. Jude Dream Home giveaway. We have a toll-free number. We'll pay for the call so you can get your tickets by phone at 800-382-7512. Or if you'd like to get the tickets online, go to dreamhome.org. This year's St. Jude Dream Home under construction in the Home Place subdivision off Polo Club Boulevard here in Lexington.
Tickets are only $100 each. The money from the raffle goes to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Call 1-800-382-7512 or go to dreamhome.org today, and you will be in the drawing for the Dream Home and the bonus prize, a John Deere mower. The drawing for all the great prizes is August 13th. It will be a week to keep that umbrella handy on and off with daily chances for showers and storms. Meteorologist Jason Lindsay has a look at that when we come back.
We're also going to squeak in a couple of dry days, too, yes. So we've got a little bit of everything for you. And with the Belmont Stakes now behind us, the road to the Kentucky Derby just became a little bit more clear, at least for one horse and his connections. That story's coming up a little bit later in sports.
The open road, the wind in your hair, the feeling of freedom that drives us to go out and discover. At Chevy, we're committed to getting you there with confidence and peace of mind. That's why your Chevy Clean dealers commit to using enhanced vehicle cleaning measures with CDC-approved cleansers. If you need a new Equinox, get 0% APR for 72 months or $4,500 cash allowance on most models. You may even shop online and take delivery at home where available, so you can find new roads with confidence.
I'm Charles Booker, and I'm running for United States Senate.
and I approve this message.
Have you been on the ground in Louisville with the protesters the last 3 days, Ms. McGrath?
I have not.
And why?
Well, I've been with my family, and I've had some family things going on.
I stand before you as your brother, as your cousin, as your neighbor, as your fellow good troublemaker. My name is Charles Booker.
It's that call of the wild. It's a call for new family adventure. A call to reunite old friends. Or simply to just find yourself. Over 7 decades of fun. Gatlinburg, the mountains are calling. Register to win a free getaway at Gatlinburg.com.
We have a man, one of the most powerful men in the world. He's one of yours. There's nobody tougher. There's nobody smarter. He's rock-ribbed Kentucky leader, Mitch McConnell.
I think there's nobody that's done a better job ever than Senator Mitch McConnell.
President Trump and Mitch McConnell delivering for Kentucky.
I'm Mitch McConnell, and I approve this message.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
ABC 36 Storm Team Weather is brought to you by Kentucky Farm Bureau. In good weather and bad, there's Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment. The ABC 36 Storm Team Forecast. Independently certified, the most accurate in Central Kentucky.
How's your Monday going weather-wise? At least we're not getting a whole bunch of soaking rain out there. Different story tomorrow, by the way. You'll see that here in just a few seconds in my 7-day forecast. In the meantime, we're looking live right now through our Fork Bank Sky View. This is our Reed's Spray Foam Insulation Camera. Let me take you back to about 4 hours and play our time lapse. And you'll notice not a lot of rain around the Hamburg area today. Really none. Just a bunch of cumulus and cumulonimbus clouds are growing in the sky all across central and eastern Kentucky. Good evening, Richmond. It's 86 degrees for you, our friends and neighbors in Jackson, home of the National Weather Service. In our area, 83 degrees, 84 in Flemingsburg. It's 84 in Monticello, our friends and neighbors in Somerset, down in Pulaski County at 81 degrees. Here's a look at your voting forecast for tomorrow. It's Election Day. Just a reminder, polls close at 6 p.m. At breakfast time, 69, scattered showers and storms, lunchtime 74, supper time right around 78 degrees. Here's a look at live HD radar. I've been tracking some rain, especially over toward Lincoln County, and that rain continues to fizzle out. Here it is over the past 3 hours. You'll notice how, as it moved in the western sections of our viewing area, how it looked like it had a big bite, but it really didn't as it moved across northern portions of Lincoln County toward Danville and even a little bit closer to the Bluegrass region. It kind of fizzled out, and here's proof on a bigger picture across the Commonwealth. From one corner of our state to the next, we are tracking scattered showers and storms. Futurecast says that you can't roll them out as we go through the afternoon and evening hours. Here's a look at what radar and satellite could look like by 10 p.m. By 6 o'clock tomorrow, waking up to some scattered showers and storms. Same thing by lunchtime, same thing by dinner time. But you'll notice there were some breaks in those clouds, meaning that we're not going to see the clouds and the rain all day long from 1 minute to the next minute. There will be some breaks in the action. For your Tuesday, get this, not only will we have to deal with the rain, but the winds, some wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. 80% of the area will see those showers and storms. But hang in there, because Wednesday and Thursday we dry out as we go into the new week and a better chance of rain.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. This summer, we'll be traveling in a cabin where every seat is premium and all baggage flies free. So fasten your seatbelts and enjoy the panoramic views. Nissan is offering non-stop routes to summer.
And now is the best time to get into a new Nissan. Get 0% financing for up to 84 months on 13 models. Or get a low $199 per month lease on Nissan Rogue.
World-class heart care is closer than you think.
Cleveland Clinic is #1 in the country for hearts. They've saved my life.
With teams specialized in the most complex heart cases and the most advanced technology, it's why we're the nation's #1 heart program 25 years in a row. We also have your safety in mind with extra measures to keep everyone protected. If you have a heart condition or need a second opinion, call us 855-951-1121.
Now more than ever, it's important you're inviting careful contractors into your home. For over 50 years, Climate Control's top concerns have been making sure your home is comfortable and safe. Whether your HVAC system needs repaired or replaced, we're here for you. And we continue to bring you innovative products like the Daikin Fit system that includes a 12-year parts, 12-year labor, and 12-year unit replacement warranty. Also, to make it easier during this time, we're offering no payments for 24 months on Daikin Fit systems. Call us today.
I'm Charles Booker, and I'm running for United States Senate, and I approve this message.
Have you been on the ground in Louisville with the protesters the last 3 days, Ms. McGrath?
I have not.
And why?
Well, I've been with my family, and I've had some family things going on.
I stand before you as your brother, as your cousin, as your neighbor, as your fellow good troublemaker. My name is Charles Booker.
Explore, compare, and find your car at mancars.com.
Man, what a deal!
The Triple Crown may be run out of order this year because of the pandemic, but that does not make any of the races less important.
Now, the Belmont was shortened from its usual 1.5 mile distance this year, run on Saturday in New York, and because of that, one horse now has the inside track to try to make history once again. ABC 36 Sports Director Brian Kennedy recaps the weekend's Belmont Stakes.
Hero, Tiz the Law, and Manny Franco to win the Belmont Stakes.
By 4 lengths, Tiz the Law wins the 152nd running of the Belmont Stakes with Manny Franco aboard for trainer Barkley Tagg. At 82 years old, Tagg becomes the oldest trainer to have a horse win the Belmont. And Tiz the Law, the first New York-bred horse to win the Belmont in 138 years.
You know, it looked to me like everything just worked like clockwork. I mean, that's the way the horse likes to run. That's the position he likes to be in. Manny knows the horse very well. We discussed it very quickly before I put him up on the horse, and I felt very confident that Manny would ride him that way, and it worked out.
By winning the Belmont, Tiz the Law earns 150 Derby points to take a commanding lead in the race for Derby prep points. This isn't Tagg's first time in the spotlight. Back in 2003, Tagg trained Derby and Preakness winner Funnyside, but finished third in the Belmont. 17 years later, Tagg gets that elusive Belmont win with Tiz the Law. In one of the more interesting environments he's ever been in. No spectators. While he enjoys spectators and knows they are important to the sport, that quiet and calm around the track was big for the horses.
Because when they're all there, your horse gets really nervous. And all the horses get nervous, or most of them do. The ones that don't might run a little better than they usually do that day. But it's just nice to see no commotion for a change. You work and work and work on these horses, and then you bring them over on Saturday afternoon. You feel like everything's falling apart because everybody's screaming and hollering. And from the other point of view, it's very hard on the horse and horses.
One of the next big Derby prep races will be the Bluegrass Stakes at Keeneland July 11th. Tiz the Law now becomes a top contender for the Kentucky Derby September 5th, and the only one able to run for the Triple Crown with the Preakness October 3rd. The biggest hill to climb? Due to rescheduling during the pandemic, the length of the Triple Crown is 105 days. That is 3 times the normal length. Tagg says Tiz the Law will make a run at the Triple Crown, plus be in Lexington this November.
The long-range plan would be to go to the Travers, and then the Derby, and then the Preakness. And if there's anything left of him, why, they'll probably want me to take him to the Breeders' Cup.
For ABC 36 Sports, I'm Brian Kennedy.
Closed captioning for ABC 36 News is brought to you by the Hearing and Speech Center, a sound beginning.
A message from Mr. Monopoly.
Hello!
Hello! I'm so excited that the Kentucky Lottery wants me to give away part of my vast fortune for their new Monopoly Scratch game.
Play the new Monopoly Scratch Off and win $250,000 instantly.
How many people live in Kentucky?
Here's to the road ahead. Trust Toyota to be here for you.
Here in the Heartland, Toyota is making it easier to get back on the road by offering 0% financing on 10 different models. Customer cash like $1,750 on the rugged 4Runner. Low leases on the versatile RAV4 for $199 a month. And the family-size Highlander for $299 a month.
All from the brand you trust today and tomorrow. Toyota.
Put an end to mealtime mutinies with Long John Silver's Family Meals. Mix and match chicken and fish and keep everyone happy. Visit longjohnsilvers.com to find pickup and delivery options near you. Long John Silver's. Fish yeah.
Growing up, I was so proud to be from Kentucky. Whether it was watching the Derby on TV or my hometown parade on the 4th of July, our mom and dad taught us to be good citizens, to believe in God, and to wave our flag with pride. They taught me I could be anything in life and to serve for the greater good. I'm Amy McGrath, and I approve this message because I'll be a senator who never forgets Kentucky.
Patient Choice Ultrasound Thermography. This is Kim. How may I help you?
Hi, my doctor just ordered a gallbladder ultrasound,
An echocardiogram.
A venous Doppler.
I'm pretty nervous. I don't know what to expect.
Well, I'm scheduled at the hospital, but the price is so high.
You are cash-based? That price includes everything?
Yeah, I've got this crazy high deductible, so a reduced cash price sounds perfect.
You could get me in? Yes, I've got an order. I'm coming to Patient Choice.
Patient Choice is my choice.
Now I've got a choice in Patient Choice.
It's time for the Great American Sales Event at your local Ford store. And we're offering 0% financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. With great savings on America's best-selling brand, there's never been a better time to buy. Hurry in before it's over. For a limited time, get 0% financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Hurry, it's the Great American Sales Event.
Here's a look at live HD radar. Not tracking a lot of rain. The rain that was pushing across Lincoln County has now fizzled out. Here's a look at your patio forecast as you may be outside for the next 5 hours. Right there on your patio, 85 by 7 p.m. by 9:77. Some rain moving in, especially around close to midnight at 11 o'clock when you can join us here on ABC 36 at 11. Scattered showers and storms will continue, especially on Tuesday, Election Day. Drying out on Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures below normal for this time of the year. The average high in most bluegrass backyards should be in the middle 80s. We'll be right around 80 on Tuesday, 78 on Wednesday.
All right, looking good. Thank you, Jason. World News Tonight with David Muir is next with the uptick seen across the country in coronavirus cases. We will be back here at 11. Have a good night.